going to just to briefly talk about B&B Press. It's like a micro independent press that we have in Montreal. We basically published zines, artist books, and it's basically our stuff. But sometimes we publish other things too. It was like humorous project that we recently published. It actually come out of the press like today.
Yeah.
And it started in 2009 as an experimental thing. It was like, oh, let's just try to do this thing. And the funny thing about how it started is it didn't start as an artistic idea, but as a distribution idea. Exposing was out there, so we had an opportunity to distribute something in Exposing. So I was just like, let's make something. And because of this venue to distribute the material that was independently produced, we decided to do something. So I started making like those zines that were like biographies of butch dykes, like of people who are not very well known in mainstream culture, like Chavela Vargas or Gladys Bentley. And we made 3, Jenny printed them and silk screen, the covers, and from there we started getting invitations to show your projects in other spaces, and it was like a really interesting experience. Jenny comes from an art background, and I come from a journalist background, and my experience doing journalism and writing was very, very distant from a public. Even when I did community radio, it was very distant from public. And the thing that was like exciting for me when I started doing, I did zines before, but I never had like this experience of doing zine fairs very much before. So the experience of making zine fairs and sitting at a table with your staff right there and having the public come to you and talking directly to you was it was new, and it was exciting, and was like very approachable. Everything we did, no matter what, becomes very approachable because the public is right there and talking to you. And I think that was like the thing that was like the most appealing for us at the time. And for some reason, we started getting attention and more invitations, and we did a few workshops, and from there. We started doing other projects with other people. So we did this photo zine, a photograph zine about this gym in Toronto. The photographer is called Andrea Clegg, and she hang out in this all women and trans people boxing zine in Toronto, and took a bunch of photos and was like part of this community. So she did a zine, there's a photograph zine, but it's actually very community based. So it includes like all the interviews and interactions that she had with those people there. And we published that. It's like a mix of art, photo project, but also a community thing. It goes back to the community, and the zine goes back to the gym. So it's like it's in the gym, and the people in the gym have access to the zine. So everything is just sort of interconnected. And what I find it interesting is that print is like this old media that is getting a really, really big impulse and getting like a huge momentum from the new media, from the internet. Because now we can have conversations in the internet, we can sell in the internet, and you can distribute it in the internet, you can sell it in the internet, and you can reach more people. And because of printing technologies, due to the new technologies of printing, they are becoming also more accessible, not only in terms of design, but also in terms of like price and how much they cost to print stuff. Okay. So yeah, like my work is all reality based. It's all like journalism based. It's like biographies, and like my one project that I particularly like is like this zine called Pajubá, is about the language of Brazilian travestis. Travestis are oh, sorry. And then Jenny is going to talk about
That's okay. I don't really like talking. anyways, I guess like it was interesting to be able to collaborate on this project because it just feels like interesting to, just because it was like a really good way to get our stuff out there and then also not have to sit by yourself. Like, I don't know, for some reason it's easier in two to do this, and our focus was mostly sort of roughly around queer experiences. I make zines, but I also make a lot of handmade books and hand-printed books too, because I have a printmaking background. So like I do stuff like, I don't know, well maybe I'll just leave these later, but there's like a lot of, like not a lot, but some like handmade pop-up books. So they're like kind of, my stuff is mostly narrative based and then kind of like autobiographical sometimes, but then also I just like making kind of like experimental fiction that's kind of like just sort of more about creating like a psychological space. So usually a sort of experience that's, I hope or want for some reason to be uncomfortable for people. Like I like awkwardness or like looking at the subject of like awkwardness and discomfort and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess why am I? I'll just, I'm just like reshuffling but opening nothing. But I'll just show you my, this is one of the more recent things that I made that I can't open because I'm shaking. But it's like it's sort of like this double-sided poster, so it's like a zine/print. But I think of it as more of a zine, like an artist book, because it's sequential and kind of like this intimate object and stuff. So